In last week's episode, we laminated with carbon fiber for the first time.
It feels like you're cutting gold or something.
We started building the sole for the deck salon, which needs to be extra stiff and strong, and it turned out great.
Wow, this is so cool.
So it's a new week, and like I said last week, the plan is to continue with the salon area and the sofa structure up here. I'm going to use some more carbon fiber to make this whole thing as stiff and strong as possible. There's probably going to be a lot of scratching my head this week to get this whole thing in place. And during the weekend now I have prepared some of the cutting files for the pieces that I need for this. And I'm thinking that I will start with the sole that's going to be here beneath the actual sofa. Malin's plans are to continue with tabbing, but this time the tabbing in between the different pieces of the bulkheads. So like joints like this, to have strips covering the actual joint, so we have the full strength that we have here also over the joints area.
Hey, a very long strip of the 300 grams, which will be for the first bulkheads that are joining together. It's the one leading into the head and bathroom shower area. So as you can see, we make this much more narrow. It's only 10 centimeters wide. So we'll have one layer of this. This will be the second layer, and the first layer will be the thick fiberglass cloth, the 600 gram.
The biax.
The biax. So I'm using leftover pieces of cloth. So I'm going through all the smaller pieces that we have to try and find suitable ones. So we really make use of all the cloth and fiberglass that we have. Yeah, and it's actually not as cold today outside.
No.
You can already feel the sun is warming up the barn.
Yeah, it's quite pleasant actually.
So,
all right.
See you.
Yes. Yeah, so like I said, I will start by cutting the sole and get that in place just to see, get the feel for the area, what the problems might be.
Johan and I have been working together for over 9 years now, filming and producing videos. Even though we have different roles, we really appreciate working side by side and share our work life together. As the sun was going down, Johan began laminating. Two layers of carbon fiber, and then a layer of 300 gram woven fiberglass on top.
So today I will make a massive lamination. 2 full sheets plus a little extra. They're actually 2.7 meters long. So in total I will use 28 square meters of carbon fiber today. So quite a lot. So I will stack these because the rest of the pieces for the sofa, it turns out that it's quite efficient to cut them afterwards. And I should be able to get the rest of the pieces for the sofa within these 2 sheets, hopefully. As you can imagine, there's lots of preparations for this, so I'm guessing this will take the whole day.
So many different layers and materials to measure and cut in order to prepare for this huge lamination job.
Well, it's been a really long day of prep work, as always, but now I finally have everything prepared. The lengthwise carbon fiber, the carbon that goes 90 degrees to that, and then the top layer of woven fiberglass. And like I said before, I'm going to stack 2 sandwich panels on top of each other and do everything in one go in one bag. So quite a lot to get saturated, but I'm thinking this should take me around 3 to 3.5 hours maybe to get in the bag. So quite a lot of epoxy that I need to mix up for this.
Johan really has to be focused while laminating, to remember all the layers and in which order they're being added.
Yeah, it's a bit after midnight now, so this took a lot longer than I thought it would. Mainly because of the carbon, and there's a lot of it here. It's really hard to see when it's fully saturated, and I really wanted to make sure that we don't get any dry spots in this. And also a bit complicated stacking everything like this without anything slipping. I think it went okay, but we'll see tomorrow. Now it's really time for the bed.
The next morning, the panels are cured, and Johan could remove the vacuum bagging material. Then he cut the sole for the sofa to the correct shape. Measuring and then securing the sole with glue. To fixate the sole permanent, Johan applies thickened epoxy. Today I'm sitting in the house and editing, but I wanted to show you how far I made it when I was tabbing earlier this week. So I did this piece, it's 2,200 millimeters high. And then this one, so 1, 2, and then I continued inside the head. And I did 1 here, so 3, 4, and then I also managed a 5th. So I also did the 2 of these corner pieces where it's a sharp corner, and that went really well. To reach, to get it really tight into the corner here, I just pushed with my fingers, so that was easy as well. So I walked around inside the boat and counted how many of these joints there are to tab. And I think I made it to 12 that are here already. And that was in our cabin, the rest here in the shower head, and in this galley area. So I didn't count inside the 2 other cabins. So there are many more weeks of doing this. But yeah, I like it. And it's good that we can work in parallel. So I'm doing this, which needs to be done in order to be able to continue, and Johan works on other things on the boat.
So I just wanted to show you guys how stiff these panels get with the carbon fiber for the weight. It's really amazing stuff. I mean, this panel is, what is it now, 2.7 meters long, and yeah, 26 millimeter thick. And I mean, I can see from here how much it deflects. I'm 90 kilos roughly, and it's really stiff. I mean, it's not a wide panel, it's 300 millimeters wide and pretty long. And I'm thinking it feels like it's deflecting something like that when I'm standing in the middle. And I don't have the equivalent in plywood, the same thickness, and not high quality plywood here. But I have, yeah, just a simple piece of plywood with roughly the same width, and yeah, it's a bit shorter and a little bit thinner, and this is not high quality plywood, but it will give you a hint of the difference in stiffness. I don't even think I can stand on this, it will just break. And this weighs almost 3 times as much as that sandwich panel. So it's really amazing the weight savings you get by using these sandwich panels. And in this case, a little bit extra because we're using carbon fiber, which means we can have less fibers, less weight, less resin for the same stiffness, but they get a lot stiffer than the other panels that we made with just fiberglass. But even with fiberglass, the weight savings are huge compared to using plywood. And I'm guessing the only downside with the carbon panels is, of course, the price. And it's a little bit more complicated to work with compared to plywood and fiberglass, but it becomes really stiff. But if you're comparing sandwich panels from with fiberglass compared to good quality plywood, marine plywood, I would argue that there is really no price difference any longer because good quality plywood has become so expensive. And then it's a pretty easy choice because with the weight savings, more strength, and it's lighter, and it's same cost. It's quite easy choice. Of course, we'll still use plywood in places in the boat for the interior because it's easy to work with. It's faster in some cases because you don't have to do all this prep work of actually producing the panel. It's just to buy a sheet and cut. You could, of course, do that with sandwich panels as well, with both carbon fiber and fiberglass, but that's pretty costly, especially buying a panel, a full sheet of carbon fiber panel like this. I don't know the prices, but I would guess that a full sheet with the same amount of carbon as we have on this one would cost somewhere $1,500, $1,600 US, maybe more. So it's pretty costly. We didn't pay that much because we did work ourselves, but still with the carbon fiber it becomes pretty pricey. But with normal fiberglass, it's I would say equal to the cost of plywood. And in this case, when we're using the carbon fiber pretty high up, the benefits gets even bigger because, as you all know, having less weight high up in the boat is always a benefit, even if in this case that's not really the reason. It's just that we wanted to make it stronger and stiffer because we have a wide span between those bulkheads where the sofa is really hanging in the air, so it needs to be really, really strong. Yeah, it was quite a lot of work taking these pieces apart after the lamination. I mean, the release field worked, but the surface area was quite big, so even with, when it's been pressed down like that, that was enough to create a lot of, I needed to use quite a lot of force on these wedges to get the pieces apart. But luckily it worked. It would have been quite a disaster otherwise. So now I have started to cut the rest of the pieces for the sofa. Yesterday I glued in the sole of the actual sofa area where you'll have your feet when you're sitting in the sofa. And I think it turned out really good. And that will make it easier now that I have some sort of foundation to build on, which is already cured with the epoxy for the rest of the structure. So I'm hoping I can get at least a few more pieces in place today.
Carbon fiber really dulls the blades fast.
Okay, so I think I have everything in place now. So now it's time for thickened epoxy. everything is just fixated with melting glue at the moment, so I don't want to try the sofa at the moment. But hopefully we can try it out tomorrow once the epoxy fillets are secured.
Johan finished fixating all the pieces with epoxy, and now it's the big test. Wow. Have you tried sitting in it?
Just a little bit.
A week ago we didn't have a sofa, and now we have a sofa. It feels big and it feels comfortable. It's the depth is good, so it can be a comfortable sofa, not just a sofa where you sit straight up to eat. So here you can lie down comfortably and watch a movie or lay down and read a book. And the windows will start around here, 10 centimeters above the sofa. Then, so when you sit up, you can see all out 360 degrees. And then you can chat with the one who is cooking down below, because it's going to be open here. And now Vera's cabin is almost completely enclosed. It's just the part where the deck will be that is still open. I have to go down and look. This is the first time I'm seeing this. Johan finished a couple of hours ago.
Yeah, I worked late yesterday.
So it might seem a little bit low right now, but keep in mind that there will be at least 10 centimeters high cushion. Yeah, this part is a bit high, but that's a compromise to get a bit more space in Vera's cabin or headroom. But yeah, we're thinking of adding a step somewhere so it will be easier to get up in the sofa. I'm sitting on this PET foam because last week when I tried it out, I sat on this other temporary sheet that we had that had glass fiber on. And then I had glass fiber full in my pants, and it was itching. It's been itching for days. So now I'm sitting on this. Okay. It's a good angle on the back part as well.
I think you can pretty easily sit 6 persons
Yeah, I think so
to
too.
eat here.
Yeah. Wow, we have a sofa. This is the place where we will spend almost most of our time. I guess the cockpit and here we're gonna spend most of the time during the days. And I just love that we will have this view from here. You know, before on our previous boats where the sofa been down below, you feel quite separated from the outside environment because you don't see, and even if there have been windows, you see the sky. But now we can see exactly what happens if a new boat comes or if the weather changes. Håller det nu? Rasar allting.
I think it will hold, but we need to tab everything into the bulkheads with carbon or fiberglass on the underneath.
Yep, that will be my job. We can sit here with we can have our feet up, both of us. And then Vera sit here next to us. And the tables, as I said, they will be divided on 2 parts, one on each pedestal that will be able to lower down, and we will have like a mattress that you can lay on top of them. So this becomes a bed. And I was just thinking that you could lower one only and still have one table left, and then you put a smaller mattress on that place. You have a little bed area there, and here you can still sit up and use the table. So I think we will divide this mattress in 2 pieces. And I was thinking, where can we store these 2 mattresses? I was thinking maybe we should search for some inflatable mattresses, if it's possible to get customized sizes on that.
Yeah.
Because that would be great. So next week you will start on the other side of the cockpit.
Yes, more lamination.
The day head.
Yeah, the day head and the nav station, and finish that area with the guest cabin. Well, that's it for this week's episode, and it's been a lot of work this week. But
we say that every week.
Yeah, yes. But I'm really happy with the result, and it's a lot more pleasing now, building the interior to really, you can see the progress every week, so that's really nice. So we hope to see you back here next Friday for another episode. And as always, a massive thank you to all of you who support our videos. And if you would like to do that, there's always a link in the description to our Patreon page.
And over on Patreon, we've also announced a save the date for our open house this summer. So all of our patrons are welcome to the farm to see the boat build this summer. It will be the 3rd time that we do this open house, so that will going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So we see you again next week.
Yeah. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.